The next interview with hella dope artist, another artist I saw on Instagram. Um, I feel like anything to get this dude more views on his page is would be dope because almost I would think a little underrated, and I know he puts in a lot of work. So mayonnaise and bread. It's nice to talk to you, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, man. People know me as Mayonnaise and Bread. Jason Keith Phillips. Uh, just I just turned the big 4-0, so I've been drawing pretty much since the motor skills kicked in.
No
That's
doubt.
pretty much where I started.
Cool.
So I've just always been into comics and sci-fi and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure since you appreciate the love,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've seen like just now within the last few years getting into paintings, like
Mm-hmm.
sizes, bigger sizes. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I just finished this Pennywise piece today. I was messing with it on my store, trying to put it up on my store while we're waiting on you set up for this call, and that's me, man. That's just I got my own comic. It's way over past due, and there's a long story behind that stuff. But I'm still working on everything, still striving, and I'm glad you mentioned the whole, fighting the fight of social media, trying to get seen. We're all the other people, but yeah, it's a struggle.
Yes.
The art struggle is real.
Yes, yes. That's part of like one of the things I'm trying to do is artists that I feel like need more exposure. If there's any way I can help, I want to do that. And so yeah, when I came across your stuff, I was like, damn, dude, this dude. If there's anything I can do to help, get a few more people on his page, I think that'd be tight.
How long have we been connected? It's been a while now. I just don't. It's just weird when you get people connected and then you might intermingle a little bit through messages or even just simple likes. You
Right.
just never know, till you start interacting and stuff. So that's a weird problem. Like the logistics of Instagram, although I love it, it's just like it never adds up. You might have a thing where it says like, 10 likes and then there's, or sort of like a video, say it says like it has 9 views, but then it has like 13 likes or something. It just doesn't add up.
Right.
So you never can trust all that. I don't know. This is weird, but it's definitely tell people you can use story mode, use tags, use all these things in your means. But the simple thing is just stuff like this where people word of mouth.
Yeah.
But I know you're trying to get people to my page, but I just feel like, well, get people to your page too. So it's all like cyclical. It's what it's all about.
Right, right. I mean, I think it all comes in time. You know what I'm saying? I think it's got a weird web, connecting as far as like, people different people can find out different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like when I upload it to YouTube or whatever, like different. It's kind of an interesting thing, that it's definitely hard to keep track of.
It's probably more about how many hours in the day do you got. It's a lot of investing to do your own PR.
Absolutely.
If I could get to a place where I could just draw and have like my wife or somebody be my agent, that'd be great. And she just do my social media for me while I just keep talking.
Yep, that part of the lifestyle is real too.
You do all your stuff on your own, right?
Yeah. I have somebody.
Yeah,
I have somebody help me with like scheduling. That's like a big thing. And it's like. So I have a little bit of help, but most of all this other like hands-on social media shit is all fucking me, man.
Yeah, it's tough, but yeah, you gotta have your voice. I don't know if anybody would want to be. I don't really know an agent or anybody of mine unless I explicitly told them to say like art sauce and things. My hashtag is for art sauce, and people always like tell me how I put sauce in things, but it's just funny. It came from Sauceum. You say something's awesome, and you say, "Oh, that's awesome," and then just keep going.
All right.
Just like the whole mayonnaise and bread thing.
Yeah.
It's like why people always ask me why I'm called that, and I figured it's really nothing. It's just I had an old roommate of mine. I had twin roommates, and one of them was saying that in a weird ass voice in the other room, and it just stuck with me, and I thought it was funny.
Okay.
When you make a handle, you don't know what to use, but I just know like my regular name is, to me, is boring. And there's like it is egocentral egocentrical in itself. To be an artist, you got to have an ego of some kind,
For
whether
sure.
you're humble or not. But putting my name on a .com, it just seems so almost like a lawyer or something.
Right.
I didn't like it.
Right. Right. Well, cool. That was one of my questions: is how you came up with your name. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Being an artist, Facebook just made me change my artist name to my real name, and that was the most irritating, most upsetting thing that I had to deal with. And I couldn't change it back. So.
When was that?
Huh?
I've never had to do that. When was that? Because I never had to do that.
It happened less than a week ago, and I hear that it happens to a lot of people, and pretty much what was told is that, yeah, they got you. They finally caught up with you. So if that ever happens to you, just be aware. It's like, oh
yeah, they're garbage.
Oh yeah, I was irritated. I thought I was gonna
Zucker garbage. I hate using their platform, but nobody else has bested them.
Exactly.
Somebody came out with a platform saying, "Hey, $5 a month, no ads, and then you can do your feed in chronological order or random, whatever you want. You'd have total control, and then they would still be getting money." But man, I don't know about you, but the ads are you have to test everyone to say, "Hey, is this relevant or not?" And most of them are not.
Right. Yeah, it's part of this fucking shit, dude. The artist struggle is real, bro.
Yeah. Have you got any ads on Instagram where it's somebody's selfie or something, and it's it's their.
Oh yeah.
It just makes no sense. It's the worst ad, and somebody approved it just to get some money.
Yeah.
All you got to do, you don't need ads. You need to just word of mouth. People tag you.
Exactly.
Share the love.
Exactly.
I do story modes with my friends all the time. You just tag them and.
Right, and I have no problem investing in promotion, but if it's a waste, it's such a ridiculous thing,
I've tested it out, but I've seen my friends do ads lately, and I'm thinking, why am I seeing this ad? Shouldn't it be going to people that don't know their account? Why
exactly.
I should see their regular posts. So it doesn't make sense. They're just bending people over.
Right.
I know the ads are good and they can work, but you have to always I kind of killed my personal Facebook because of a lot of reasons, but another reason was I kept getting posts that were irrelevant to advertising, and I would say, for $120 you can reach this many people. And it was happening all the time, every other post.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah. It's you're paying for those ads. Yeah. It's pretty sad, man.
Yeah, your podcast style right here is exactly the stuff I love, creator stuff.
Tight.
I want to talk about you want to talk about me, but I'm okay. What about you? we never talked until now.
Right. But it's always good to connect. And when I was interviewing B Nasty, he was like, "So how are you doing, bro?" And I was like, "I'm doing good, but this is your interview," But yeah, for this, I'm definitely trying to connect a lot of my battle rap and rap MC homies with my graffiti homies. You know what I'm saying? Or my artist homies. And I wanted to jump into that question. Actually, I have a couple questions, but I wanted to mention that you are one of the few people that I'm interviewing that does not do graffiti. A lot of the artists that I know are graffiti artists and stuff like that. So kind of describe your style a little bit more. I know you kind of tapped into it a little bit. But yeah, let me know what kind of style you kind of describe yourself. And again, you said you've been drawing for however many years. Just go ahead and break that down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have any formal training.
Okay.
Just high school graduate. No sob story in the high school stuff or anything. But I was always celebrated with art. I just unfortunately didn't go to school. And really, what got me into art, what got me into picking it up more serious in these years. Actually, probably more in the 2000s when I got more serious about it. Unfortunately, should have been spending more time on it earlier. But I went through my party phase and stuff.
Right.
But I didn't start drawing color until I started doing sketch cards. So I have to shout out one of my friends. He's not a graffiti artist, but he's one of the Star Wars dude. I have a buddy I knew on LiveJournal. I don't know if you ever heard of LiveJournal. I've still got a lot of good friends that I've met through LiveJournal, which is like, this is off this topic. I'm good at rants, man. I'm really good at ranting and going on different tangents and stuff. But like, I met my wife through LiveJournal. We were friends on there.
Okay.
And then so like Grant was another friend on there, and he'd always pester me about, get that sketchbook out, get doing something. And I'm like, all right. And I used to just do freehand pilot pen, just ink pen.
Oh, okay.
But then he got me into sketch card gigs, which is like, there's some bad ones out there, I have to say. But it's like Lord of the Rings sketch cards. I got into that through Tops, and then I started doing still do some Upper Deck and Top stuff, but
okay.
I started pushing myself with color. So with the whole color thing, it's just a frugality, man. Everybody's like, oh, get the Copics, or don't call them Copics or Copics or whatever, and then all these markers, they're just ridiculously expensive. And I started messing with acrylic inks and India ink, and like especially Dr. P.H. Martin stuff and the Speedball.
Okay.
Speedball is amazing, like the best red. So I just started doing this teal and red thing, and then started adding colors on that within these years. And people, I get the Shepard Fairey reference from people. I get this 3D thing. People, did you look at that in 3D glasses? But I just been pushing more and more, and like just trying to push what color I can do, what I can. Because I know about you, but when you do something and you hate it, but people love it, but it's just like they don't know what you're going through in your own head. So it's like it's just pushing myself, and so I have to shout out to Grant Gold because he's the one that like got me into this, and then I just made a lot more friends and doing like different shows. Like I've been doing conventions, and I'm actually the poster guy. We're a local show here. When I get my buddies to do digital colors for me. I don't do digital except for my phone. I'm getting new to it, so I got to like expand my horizon on digital just to be self-sufficient, and especially for print, because digital is just better for print.
Right.
But it's just that's kind of where it's at. Like I got my own book. It's called Dreadlock, and I did a Kickstarter for it. It's way past due. I'm like one of those. I'm one of those assholes out there that did that, but I didn't know. It was like a litmus test when I did it. I was like, and then like my life has been, it's been a roller coaster since then. Like this year has been really, I'm not even working. This is what I do full time right now until I do a day gig here or there or something. Just nothing's worked out. I'm just pushing my art full time. So it's like, people might get tired of that on your own social media, but you're like, you gotta sell it somehow.
Right.
You gotta, like, advertise yourself. So some people get tired of that. I think they're like, oh, I've already seen this art before.
Right.
Posting it again or something. But man, you gotta do something. And people, I get a lot of local love, a lot of local support. Because I'm originally from Arizona, and the only reason I'm here is because my wife, we got pregnant back in the day, so we moved out here to be closer to mom. That's why I'm here. I'm in Indianapolis now, but
cool.
I'm born and raised. I lived like everywhere, so. Seen like a lot of different things. Definitely want to go back out west and to like go back to your thing about graffiti art. I have no idea. I don't know what it is with my colors or what's happened.
No
but
doubt.
Like, I got a lot of graffiti love through Instagram, mostly Instagram, all places. So that's why I met you on there. I don't even know how long I know we've been on each other's list for a while, but I can't remember how long it's been. Cause I've been on Instagram for a while, but I'm Android, so I couldn't get Instagram until it hit Android. I've been on there about as long as it hit Android. It's probably as long, but I know people had it way before.
Right.
Although it was better before Facebook took it over. It's still better. I was long enough to be before the takeover, but then it's been good. Like it's like I don't know what's up with this graffiti thing. I don't know. I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just like I don't know. People think, hey, you should like someday I could translate that into a bigger. I had a job doing spray paint, didn't work out, but like it was like we're like fabrication with like laser tag places, so I didn't get to really do anything with my art.
Sure.
Like there's just stencil stuff.
Okay.
That didn't go work out, but someday I would definitely love to pick up my own paints and try something else.
Sure. Yeah, I think.
So that's not out of the question. I could say I'm a graffiti guy. I did see that. I did watch the Nitros thing recently, and man, that was really good. So
nice.
That's just inspiring stuff. So.
Yeah. I think like graffiti artists are stoked on what you do because a lot of us are stuck in letters and want to do characters. And so when we see somebody so advanced in like characters, we're like, damn, that fool's hella dope. You know, I just recently started working on characters and you know, it's not my specialty. You know what I'm saying? So
it's all about like pushing yourself and
mm-hmm.
and just expanding.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're trying to do that, then even if you fail to yourself, at least you're having some fun and doing something different. Because
mm-hmm.
I know some people, like with tagging, I know people do their name over and over the same way, and
yes.
like that would get kind of boring to me personally. But I know people that do their name, but like totally different all the time, or have totally different. Like I can't even. I'm bad. Like even just with the whole 3D puzzle stuff, we stare at it
mm-hmm.
and then find a picture. I'm terrible at that. So when people have this graffiti and I can't read it, I'm just like, wow, that looks really good, it's awesome, but I have no idea what it says. Because some people are super intricate, and it's like it's almost like a puzzle, mind puzzle.
Definitely.
So it is art in itself, but it's just like some people are real like this is whole. Especially like I said, I saw that documentary.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some other stuff, and it's just. The amount of mural art now, it's like from graffiti merge into this fine art and mural art is just insane.
Yeah. I think the thing that like, you know, graph writers do is we try to do our name, you know, it is very repetitive, you know, and sometimes it's a lot of fun, but since I've doing this art, since I've transformed from like vandalism to art, I try to find different ways to create you know, the same letter and stuff. So it's different. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's not always vandalism to other people. Some people like it.
Right.
Now there's like paid graffiti stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then people just getting a gig for like free.
Oh yeah.
Free advertising. Like I don't know. Like I don't want to My thing with art ultimately is like I'm not in a place I'd want to be with it yet, and I appreciate the love you're giving. My thing is bringing people with me that have been there, especially artists that have been there with me.
Exactly.
Through the struggles.
Exactly.
But like my ultimate goal is to be able to like help others in any way. Like stuff going on in the world right now, I have no financial help, but I can be like draw something, an auction, or do something.
Right. Definitely. And I actually do have that question a little bit down the line. So, describe your style. That's cool. That's good.
Yeah, I'm going to answer all your questions before we get to them. I'm good at that.
You're all good, man.
My style, I don't know, man. I just come from a comic book background. I'm still, like, I've been like, way behind on shows because I listen to music more when I draw.
Okay.
I try to put something in the background with me. I put music on most of the time, but, like, this, like, week, while I'm working, I've kind of gone back on some of the Marvel stuff. So I'm a Marvel guy more than I am a DC guy. But like, I don't know, like I didn't care about. I think I had comics as a kid, but I didn't care about comics hardcore until like my freshman or so year.
Okay.
When I picked up Pitt, I don't know if you remember Pitt. Like Dale Keown does the art. He was big he got big from this Hulk art, and then he went on to do his own thing with Image. But Pitt was there, and then like Jim Lee. I had a set of Jim Lee's art. It was like the whole X-Men set, all Jim Lee art.
Oh wow!
I was a huge Jim Lee fan. I still like Jim Lee. It's just no offense, Jim Lee. If you ever hear this, I don't know if you listen to graffiti podcast stuff, but he's like another thing. That's another thing about comics though is that you get enamored by artists, and then you find out the inker does more of the work than the artist.
No doubt.
Like Jim Lee. Yeah, so. You just find all this stuff, but that's where I come from with my style. Is just the whole. It comes from the comics stuff. I used to do like cartoony. I used to just do nothing but cartoony stuff as a kid. And the comics made me try to get more proportionate and stuff. So that's where my style comes from. Okay. I don't know if you've seen Dreadlock. Got the first issues good to go, but I'm up to like 3. Trying to get up to all 4. There's a 4-issue arc on this first arc, and there's a graphic novel, but I'm doing singles too. But that's kind of where I'm at. Like, that's where it's like all my own creator-owned stuff. Okay,
it's your book or what is it?
Yeah, it's a comic book. It's a graphic novel comic book style. Dreadlock is basically like he has this he has access to this other world, and he has a powerful knife within the other world.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really tell his friends about it, but he ends up taking all his buddies to this other world, like specifically because his friend Kick is wasting away being an addict. He's trying to open up his eyes to this, like there's more out there than just Earth, and it bites him in the butt as soon as they get there because the evil he thought he vanquished is still there, and then they get they're endangered, and then that's how they kind of have some flashbacks, flash forward stuff.
Okay.
With that.
How can I
give too much away?
How can I find this?
I don't have it online right now. I need to just put them on my store. What I have, but I usually just sell them when I'm at my shows.
Okay.
I'm supposed to do another show coming up here in October. I don't know, but I have I got to get a piece done this weekend for Paint of Heart show coming up in Bloomington. Starts next Friday, so I gotta get that done too. So I have them offline. They're just they're self-published, so they're like $5 a copy, just like a regular comic book size, regular comic book, like page wise, like 4 pages.
Yeah. What's your
nice intro? What's my what?
What's your online store? Is it like a Big Cartel or Etsy or what is it?
I use Square actually. I've only moved one thing on there because a lot of time it's like I sell stuff in person or people are connected with me offline, hit up for commissions.
Okay.
So a lot of my stuff I do is more private commissions, but the stuff I do personally, I'm just like, okay, here, it's like I got it out of my system, offer it up to the world if they like it. You know, I know it's not cheap, but I offer like super cheap $20 sketches with 11 by 14.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you got to do something with the hustle. You got to do something affordable, but there's people who buy like I got this Castlevania piece, so I got to get tidied up, and the guy got that. He you know, people pay half up front or half when finished. Right. Some people pay all up front, and they don't care. They know artists. They understand art life, where they know you got life. You got a life, and you still got to. They don't want the art rushed either. Yeah. And I definitely don't rush I usually end up putting more into stuff than I should.
Right.
For the price.
Right.
But that's just how it is. Like people that are there for the ground floor will be rewarded for that. Like when you're a big name, I know people, man, they charge a lot for just a little bit of work. Because of their name. And I get it though because of the people flipping stuff out there. So people get mad about it, but at the same time, people are flipping art. They do that. Like people go get, you know, in the comic book world, people bring stacks of their comics to them to get signed, and it may not have to cost them anything, but it costs this artist sitting there have to sign this, the creator sign this over and over all these books, and then they just take them and flip them. Yeah, it's kind of like
that's definitely a reality we have to live with. I know I'm like I said, I schedule everything, and it's like I do big paintings that I could never afford, but I'm also doing like much more affordable sketches. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's just that's part of the life, man.
Yeah, you got to cover your bases so people don't think like, oh, you're just. But there's no. The only time I maybe would do like free art personally is just like some little kid asked nice or something that he might buy some, but you gotta. I got a 12-year-old. I got my wife. I got bills, so you got to make your money.
Absolutely.
I know some people are weird about that with art, where it's like, oh, art is all pure and it's not about money, but it's like, you got to do groceries and stuff. If I work like I used to, work 40 hours a week, it still leaves me like not much time to, even with 3 days off or 4 days off, doesn't matter. It leaves a lot of time to get stuff done.
Exactly. All right, just moving on a little bit. Who are some of your top inspirations?
I hit on that a little bit, man, but there's a lot of them. Locally here, man, there's like people that I got Tony Tripp. He also goes by Clouds, and you're thinking of graffiti. He does actual mural art and graffiti stuff. I got one of my best buds here is Matthew Skellner in Skillful Studios. He has a Sam Key style, gritty style. He's a good dude. Like as far as like right now, people I know like that, it's awesome. Like there's a lot You put me on the spot with that because I'm thinking there's so many. Like you
For
can
sure.
pretty much look at like if you know go to my my Mayonnaise and Bread Instagram for one. Like the people I follow, there's like a lot more art than it is. There's some regular accounts mixing their friends and stuff.
Right.
There's a lot of art on there, but
right.
I know growing up, like I still love his stuff. Is like Simon Bisley.
Okay.
He did a lot of. I don't know if you know. He did like he's done from like Judge Dredd stuff to Lobo. He has his own stuff. Jim Lee is one. We got. I do know one dude that still kills me when I see his art, and he takes too long. He bombed out a comic or something, but it was a Travis Charest. I don't know. It's like it looks like Charest, but I think it's Charest because he's French or something. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. His stuff is sick, and then like I have a Nichos shirt. I don't know if you're supposed to call his Nichos, whatever you're supposed to say his name, right? But that dude slays. Like I know people are fighting his style hard now.
For sure.
The exoskeleton stuff. So all these people are trying to do the same stuff. But that's love. I get it. But
cool.
I try to stick to do my own thing. I don't try to be like anybody particular. But I do know. I have to say, if I had to pick one major influence of all, it's cliche as hell, but Otomo created Akira.
Oh, yeah.
Akira's, like, from the manga to the anime, the manga's better because it explains more and it goes on more depth and more post-apocalyptic. But that dude, he kills it. I don't know why there's not a live action done by him or something.
For sure.
I keep hearing about this Americanized version. I don't care about that.
Right.
Neo Tokyo. I don't know if they're going to be like, it's Neo Chicago or Neo New York or something. That's so stupid.
Right, yeah, it's pretty sad when it gets washed like that.
That's a big influence. I could go on and on. There's like there's so many.
For sure. No, that's a good little sample into what inspires you. What was I gonna say about that? Oh yeah, you prefer like I mean I think that's what drew me to your art too, is that it's darker. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
I've done some My Little Pony art and some unicorn kind of stuff for people per request, but if I'm not getting requested, I do dark stuff for sure when I like. It's more fun.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not like a dark person as far as like I'm not secretly like the serial killer.
For sure. Right. All you do is draw in the dark and shit.
Yeah, like just watching like I like end up watching a lot more crime and serial killer stuff going on. Like I was telling my wife about this Snowman movie coming out with I think it's Fassbender as like a detective, and it just sounds like it's a serial killer movie. I'm like, all right, I'm there. I want to see what's I want to know what happens. You know, just crazy. Like that's what art like. This I haven't even seen the new It movie yet. I will see it as soon as I can.
It's tight.
I had to draw Pennywise because I've drawn the Curry version before.
Tight. I think it'd be funny if you did, like, in the middle of your feed, just, like, throw a My Little Pony in there. It would be very interesting. You'd throw some people.
Yeah, I've done cutesy stuff for people, but, like, I know I've done, I did a Five Nights at Freddy's just for the hell of it, and kids love Five Nights at Freddy's, which is, like, dark. It's, like, cutesy gone dark. And, I've been requested to do another one for the person. I think it's the person that bought that, they end up doing the Freddy for them. So they bought the Chica the chicken. They're just doing something different. Yeah. But I do know, if you give me something like, hey, draw me a Popeye or something, I'll probably want to mess with it and make it darker.
Right.
Instead of just doing it. Yeah. It's just details and fun. Right. I don't know. You see my Disney stuff. I got the World at Disney guys. I don't know who runs that account. They've reposted some of my work, but they just post nothing but messed up Disney art. Right. That's more interesting to me than Disney art.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And,
I don't know. I don't know why.
And again, as a graffiti writer, I know I'm speaking for several artists that are stuck in letters. We wish we could do that shit, man. Like, I just did an Ice Cube.
Yeah, but you can. The thing is, you can if you put the time into it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I'm working on that.
You're putting so much time into your letters, and then you gotta, like...
It's just...
I don't know. Because I gotta draw more of some stuff, push myself.
Right. Yeah, we're always learning, you know. What's the best tip or advice someone has given you?
I think I don't know if it's so much advice or just learning
Mm-hmm.
from get older, get wiser.
Yeah.
But I can't pinpoint anybody certain advice other
Mm-hmm.
than something I've really thought of for myself from battling your own mind growing up. But I know it's never fair to compare and to yourself as an artist. Just like you're comparing yourself to me, like, oh, I can't do what you do. Well, maybe I can't do what you do, but
Right.
you can try and you can keep practicing, and
Right.
if you have the heart for it.
Right.
Because my problem, a big problem I've had, and people probably see what I say online, I'm kind of a blunt person, but when somebody just decides they're an artist and then they're trying to charge what I charge, that pisses me off. You have to put the time in for it. It's like if you're a surgeon, you can't just go walk into a hospital after reading a book on surgery and be like, I'm a surgeon now, I'm going to work. No, you got to have experience.
Absolutely.
You got to put the time into it. So, like, some people are just naturally talented, yes, but I'm talented. I might have talent. That doesn't mean I get to be a cocky asshole about it either. But it's just
definitely.
But I only get cocky when you get put in a place like that. But I've had a problem with people that just like, oh, what do you charge for this? And it's like, why? And then you see them run around trying to do what you do and sell the prices you do. And I don't know. It's not like my prices are that crazy, but it's an investment.
Absolutely.
For some,
absolutely.
You know, if they want to get the art.
Absolutely.
It's just like that's my thing about that. Like, so you just got to put the time in. You got to, and then also, who am I? If I was somebody out there was trying to draw and they heard me say, "Oh, that guy's cocky." Well, no, you could probably still pull something from what I'm saying and saying, "Hey, put the time in." And
exactly.
Be respectful to other artists about that. But like, I don't know, man. I just got tired of that stuff. There's a lot of hacks and tracers on Instagram. You get tired of it. You see, like, I'll post something. Took me a while to do it, and then you see some traced art, and it's like, you know, 6-figure likes and some stuff.
Right.
I'm not gonna name names. I know there's one artist that's super popular, but when I found out they trace everything,
right,
and they just build on it. Yeah, your digital work's good, and you can do it, but like, you're just tracing almost everything. Like,
right.
Taking straight rep.
Right.
Like it's Pennywise is just freehand ink. So if people want to know about my style with the ink, I use a lot of brush pens. And I've done like from highlight marker sketches on canvas to straight up watered down red ink. I always start with a red layer and then go over with teal. The teal that like makes it look black. Unless you start going off the red, you'll see the teal off the red. But it's just messing around.
Yeah.
And, cause like I'm just saying like that's all it is. But I don't know if that makes any sense for advice.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's like the new age of social media. It's not like we were in a classroom before and it's more hush-hush about people's art and their
bubble. Northern California.
Out here in India, just like not my scene. Not my scene at all. I've just been kind of stuck here for a bit. But we want to go to Oregon or at least up in Washington, somewhere close.
Right. Yeah, the West is nice. I haven't been to the East yet.
Never?
Not yet.
What's up?
No. I did want to tag on to people adding, you know, crazy prices to things. Like I've been doing art for shit, dude. How old? I'm almost 30 right now. Like, you know, easily 15 plus years, and I just 2 days ago started realizing like my pricing. You know, is when I laid everything out and I have like a more cohesive pricing method. You know what I'm saying? So when, like you said, when people are just adding crazy numbers to their stuff, it's very irritating. So I hear you.
Yeah, I kind of put hints out there and I kind of go blunt, even whether it's story mode, because story mode's awesome. I hate how they copy Snapchat and all, but it's a way to like geotag, hashtag, what more content without spamming your feed.
Right.
And I'll spam the shit out of my story mode if people might be entertained, man, because like I'm a lover of comedy. I mean, that's on my bucket list is to do stand up. I want to go out,
very cool,
push my boundaries and do something, come up with something. I just haven't been in a place to worry about that yet. I'm just worried about my focus on art.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just you got all these means to do stuff. So, but people could maybe catch on and get the message, but they don't. People want to be like insta famous, basically nothing for no work, no effort.
Right.
It's like just like that. How about now, girls that got a multi-million-dollar record deal, and
right?
Just cringing.
Right, and yeah, it's definitely people want to get insta famous instead of using it as like a helpful tool. I think that's like a major issue that goes on in society right now, which I don't really want to get into, but as an artist, I use it as a platform to do my art. You know what I'm saying? It's not the way to make money. It's the way to self-promote.
Well, yeah, it's like just because you can pay your bills with art, but it doesn't like lessen the value of it. It's just like, for me, it's catch and release with my art. Like it's no good for me to have piles of art at my house, and it's better off to be in somebody's home and welcoming their guests or welcoming them home.
Absolutely.
And they're inspired by
having
like their little. So it's just like, yeah, it just depends on you. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
If I knew the keys to the world, I'd be like better off at this moment. But then again, it's like, I think it's just kind of like, it's better to keep trying than to not. Don't give up. Especially for another thing of advice, don't give up. You know, it's like, I even to this day will try to do even blue pencils or something and erase the crap out of it over and over until I get something right. That's just how it is.
Right. Cool. Sweet. Let's keep it rolling. How long? I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but how long have you been drawing?
I'd say since, I think my mom said the first drawing she had of me was I was like 4 or 5. I know it might be earlier than that, but I think I posted it a while back.
Nice.
A throwback, but it was like, looked like I drew some woman with boobies or something. That was like one of my first drawings.
You're like 5? That's
tight. Yeah. I don't do pin-up like cheesecake stuff right now. I mean, I've done some suggestive art but nothing too crazy, nothing. I don't think anything's bad. I don't think that's like, oh, gross, or anything like that.
Right.
It's just,
right.
I've been on Explorer and I've seen some pretty explicit accounts. It's like all they draw. So more power to them. I just know they probably get flagged all the time. There's a lot of people, if you don't like what you're saying, flag your post.
Right. I'm gonna have to tag you in one of my friends. He has 2 accounts. He has his artist account, and then he has like his erotic art account, and it's pretty much like he does canvases, but it's just like it's like erotic art. It's very interesting.
I think it's cool. There's nothing wrong with. I don't think there's anything wrong with sexuality. I just think it's kind of. I'm not into the. Personally, I'm just not into the rapey like.
Right.
Like, women are a piece of trash kind of stuff. I think sexy women are great, but there's definitely some people think of my art's dark. You see some like this bound women. I don't know what that stuff's called. Even my favorite, like I forgot to mention Hiroki Sumura, who does the Blade of the Immortal comic. I think Blade of the Immortal is like probably my all-time favorite comic.
Okay.
Well, somebody has just told me, like, hey, don't look at his other art. You might not like his stuff anymore. And he does that. I can't remember what it's called, but where the women are bound and they're missing limbs and stuff, and like the rope art form.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really into that, but the Blade of the Immortal didn't ruin it for me.
Right. And it's funny because it's like, when I was interviewing him, he was like, yeah, I kind of get more traffic on the erotic art, you know, because people are just weird like that, you know? So, it's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, it's private. It's got to be private art, because, like, I don't really know where you can showcase a lot of that without, if you have a family. Or, I don't know. You never know.
Cool. Let's see. Where do you envision your art going? What would you like to eventually do? Like you said, you're doing comics. I assume you want to do more, maybe some live action stuff?
I want Dreadlock to be, there's probably people waiting on it, laughing at me if they hear this, but like, where's my books? But it's happening. It's just been in a weird spot. Like I've never worked anywhere longer than I have this last major job, which I worked at a warehouse for a decade.
Okay.
And then I decided to they decided I had FMLA and stuff, so they decided to get rid of me like 3 days before Christmas last year. So that's been my struggle since then. I've been off work, and then I got this other gig that didn't work out, but it's, despite the being down and out and having the shitty year, because last year was not the greatest, and this year, but there's more to it than just the simple fact of financial shit, just other crap and drama. It's not even important, but like that's despite all that, I'm still pushing my heart. Still, what I want to do is be in a place where I'd have a think tank studio where we can create and have like-minded people with me. I already have a few people on that list that I'll take with me to produce our own content, whether it's through anything.
Sure.
The dreadlock is something I would love to be optioned to people to have it live action, see it animated, see it some way, and get the word out, get it out there. That'd be awesome. So that's something I like to do. But ultimately, another thing, one of my passions is like, another shout out to Speedball Art. But my friend's nephew has, he just turned 3. I don't know the kid in person at all, but I did that Special Agent Oso painting for him. But he's like battling cancer right now. So that's another thing I really would love to do is be well off enough to have any kind of philanthropic like reach to anybody I would like helping. But my ultimate thing, because I'm like actually I didn't find out until I was like 20 that I was like half Navajo. So another thing one of the biggest things I want to do is be able to have some kind of art program for indigenous people, even if it's around the world. Because I feel like indigenous people are like the butt of a joke all the time until like somebody wants to, beat their chest about something or say, "Oh, I'm half Cherokee," or "I'm this." Like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't know anything about that side of me. I just know that recently I've heard like a lot of problems where like indigenous people are stuck on their reservations, even in Canada, and they lose their sense of identity, and their like suicide rates are crazy. I've been there. I know how it is. Like I felt the darkest depths I've never felt within like the last few years. But there's a lot of love out there. It keeps me around, and it's serious shit. Like there's just people just want to be entertained all the time, and there's like stuff out there I just would like to lift people up. That's the ultimate. People are like, "Oh, I'm inspired," but I would like to be definitely building up a legitimate art empire of our own to just we're doing our own thing. Because I know a lot of people, if you're a comic book fan, anybody out there, like, okay, all these Marvel movies are happening, and like nerd culture is like synonymous with parental stuff now. Like parents, it's cool enough to be into comics when it wasn't cool for like the longest time. But now people are Chris Evans is out there running around as Captain America and stuff. But the problem with a lot of those big names out there is that they're coming out with like kind of just regurgitating stuff more in the comics than anything. But people die and then they come back, and it's just nice to have a lot of independent stuff has been creeping up and being bigger and a lot of other stuff. Just like even like Rick and Morty is not. I mean, the Dan Harmon guy's got his he did with Community and all that. He's got his money. He's got his his way. But like Rick and Morty is just like bananas. Like it's not some big. It just could have flopped or just been like but people are bananas about that, and that's just kind of like what I would like to have. Something have your own kind of like craziness that you can build off of, because the Rickmobile, keep seeing that popping up everywhere. I don't know if it's out on your side of the world, but yeah,
I don't know if it's reached over here, but I've definitely seen the pictures and shit of it.
Yeah, it's just cool. Like it's just like there's stuff going on. People, it's just good to help people. But this kid, he got that. I was gonna say that kid. He got that. He finally got that Oso from me this last week, and he was so stoked. And he was like, showed it to his stuffed Oso, and said, "Hey, it's you." And it's just like you see that smile on his face.
Right, so, that joy.
I like that.
Yeah.
There's probably nothing I like better than I've seen kids. Like I remember when I lived in Dallas, and this kid like was all being nosy when I was sketching in my book, and him and his brother were watching, but the one kid was more intent, and I just ripped it out and gave it to him.
Nice.
Like, you just know that'll make that kid's day. He might keep he might keep trucking on with the art. So,
right, exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. Well, cool, man.
Maybe I'll see him someday, and he'll be like, "Hey, remember me?" But I don't. Either way, I hope it keeps growing.
Right. Tight, dude. Yeah, it's good. It's good to have that in perspective. You know what I'm saying? As far as
yeah, because I don't know, my life could have gone different. Like if I don't know about my past, but like if I say I was something to this Navajo dude or whatever, I could have been on a reservation. I could be another statistic on a reservation. Not that land is bad. It's pretty beautiful out, especially out Four Corners area, Monument Valley. Those places are beautiful, but it's barren. Ain't that much going on unless you know what you're doing and what you got proper setup.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. I agree, man. As far as inspiring others, I think that's a major thing, and that's one of my goals for doing all this is talking to artists, having people hear, the younger generation
I must
here.
Be doing something right.
Yeah.
You asked me to be on here, but yeah, when you asked the first time, I was like legit like coughing all the time. I was like, I gotta wait.
Yeah, no doubt. No, it's all good, bro.
I'm the kind of person, I don't know about you, but I usually get the one big knock you out sick once a year.
Yep. We're not kids anymore, bro. That shit happens.
My kid, first week of school always comes back sick. One of those days.
Exactly.
Schools are the word.
Yeah.
For germs.
Exactly. They're petri dishes.
Yeah.
So there's another question that I know you tapped on a little bit, but I always think it's good to just highlight this sort of stuff. Mediums that you use, equipment that you like to use, and you said you did canvases. Do you do like acrylic or oil or watercolor and stuff like that?
Yeah, I haven't done any oil painting and stuff. I have some oil paint artist friends. Like, there's a guy, Charles Hall, is amazing with his oil work. He's like a Louisville, Kentucky-based dude. But if you just look up Charles Hall art or something, I can't remember that's his name. But I'm definitely, if I have the money to dabble and stuff, just an investment in any kind of thing is an investment. So what I did was, like I said, I touched on it a little bit, but it was like, markers are just insane expensive.
Yeah.
And so when I was doing all these sketch cards and they're wanting full color, I started getting into inks, and inks aren't exactly always cheap, but I just started getting brush pens, and the ones that look like you're supposed to put water in the bodies, the aqua type brush pens, but I just dip everything because I just know that stuff can bleed on any time, which could just ruin what you're working on. So I just dip everything. I just control everything with dipping and water. I always have water to dilute, or and a lot of with my red and blue, or my red and teal. There's a scarlet red and from the Speedball art, and I always push that because I just want them to keep making it, want people to buy it and keep it going, not get discontinued or something. But because another thing, and not to go off the topic, but that kid I was talking about, Speedball, actually sent him a care package. I asked them, and they did it, and it was amazing. So
hell yeah,
big mad props to Speedball.
Hell yeah.
The little kid's name's Angel Mendoza, so he's on my Instagram, and he's still battling this. So anybody, like, I've been telling people, man, anybody wants to send him art of the Oso or something, just anything like it's proper stuff for kids,
Yeah.
We're talking about proper art for a kid's age, but he's such a rad kid. I hope because he just hit stage 4, which is not good.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get people eyes on him, but Speedball, like, their red, man, is the best red, because you use a red and it looks like pink crap, and you're like, what is this crap? And it just turns pink. So this red is bloody red.
Oh, no.
You'll see. I'll be posting. I posted that Pennywise for sure. Like, but you see I build everything on the red, and anything red left is still that red. It's really good. And then the teal is usually like the Dr. P.H. Martin's. Is a lot of what I use on the other colors. Unfortunately, there's not mom and pop shop here anymore as far as art supplies. So I end up having to go to the evil empire of Michael's and Hobby Lobby. But that's okay because I use their coupons and I never pay full price on stuff because I never do. I usually I don't care if my wife goes in line with me and buys something else because it's like the jack prices. They might jack prices up or whatever, but it's that's the base for everything I use. And then when it's just like pencil stuff, if I want to get real detailed, like I gotta get this. I'm working on the poster for our show. It's Indiana Toy and Comic Expo. Is the show I do the poster for. This will be the 5th poster I'll be doing for him. And
wow.
I start with like pencils for stuff like that, where it's just blue pencils, get everything detailed out, and then I just usually just ink my own pencils instead of worrying about printing another thing of blue pencil and just doing that. He doesn't mind just inking on that, and it's kind of a gamble when you do stuff like that, maybe, but I never had problems. So that's like with the cheap sketches like I do, I'll just do watered down black ink or something, so it's kind of gray. Yeah. You can sketch, and then you go back with like the black. So it's just like all about basically the illusion of the inks to sketch, and then going back over with detail. So it's a lot of layering. It's definitely seems tedious, but just like you get to see, even if I've been mixing colors too here and there. You can mix these inks pretty good. Okay. And make like I made for the Pennywise, I made like this creamy gray just to add to his face a little bit, make him look a little clownish. Right. But yes, I've just been doing like. Sometimes I'm not seeing, and people might think, "Oh, you're so good," but sometimes I still have to go like, "Wait, what should I mix for this?" I'm not like some mastermind of art. Right. I'm like, "Oh, I'm at the Google, but I need to mix for this," because some people are color theory masters, and sometimes I'm like dyslexic on that shit. Right. I'm just like, wait, okay. But you said you're self-taught too, right? Yeah, it's all about like, especially you got the internet, you got YouTube. People can pull up anything just because. People might think I'm good. I still have to reference and see, like, hey, definitely an idea for something. But I always do everything by myself, and it ends up a lot of times when I use reference, I'll be like, okay, I get that, but I try to just replicate it in my own way, right? And just end up doing my own thing because, man, it's just how it is. Like I know how people. And then you got to be yourself. And you try to be other people, and then there is people like you see it in comics where people come out and you're like, wait, he looks a lot like this artist, right? And I don't like that. I get it. I get they got the love, the daffy love for that artist, obviously. But sometimes it's like you just look like a clone. Right. Yeah. Comparisons and all that. Definitely. I do know people will usually say, "Hey, I don't know that's yours," without looking at the name. So I'm like, "Good, thank you." I don't sign it. MayonnaiseandBread. I know I just put Jason. I know Jason Pearson. He's another artist. Like I don't even know the comic Body Bags. He's on his name is Jason, so I've never had anybody ever say anything about my name like that. I just have done that for a long time. I think he's just signed my initials, like JKP and whatever. I don't know if I'll eventually just put MayonnaiseandBread or something. I just think I just put Jason because it's nice and short. Right. Like, mayonnaise is kind of a long word, and if people ask me, like, where do I find your page? And if I don't have a business card on me and I explain it's MayonnaiseandBread, and they're like, how do you spell it? Because I know how to spell mayonnaise, that's for sure. I've been saying it so. Right. No, it's hella funny. I also share the thought of not signing my pieces. I feel like, my shit kind of stands out as is, and if I just were to sign it, I'm just putting a fucking name on it that's already there. So it's kind of an interesting. I'll put more info on the back of canvases and stuff and in our paper. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, let's see. Next question. Greatest memory or event or whatever that you've experienced through the art game? Well, first off, I have to say there's a couple, but the most freshest one is this 4th year was August 27th. And down in Bloomington for our show. We just do a one-day comic show, and we do it like, it's all about toys, comics, and vendors. It's a lot of local love, and it's, it's like $5 to get in. Every year it's been $5 to get in, free parking. Nice. We're in Bloomington. It's like a big college town here, but it was like over about an hour away from where I'm at right now. Okay. But it's still pretty close. Like I don't know about you. I don't like driving more than 3 hours. It's like kind of my thing now. I've driven like cross country. Never will do that again. Like, so sure. It's not that far, but anyway, like we this year was that show. a lot of local love, and we did our first donut and draw. That's what my idea I came up with, because a lot of these shows do drink and draws the night before, but that's not kid friendly.
For sure.
It's kind of weird, you know.
Right.
I wanted to do the donut and draw, so we got a sponsorship with for donuts from Square this time.
Oh, nice.
It's just all it was. I just didn't have it was ill prepared because I didn't have help and it was just me.
Right.
So I was like running around like headless chicken, but a lot of people showed up. Kids were loving it and had fun, and then they actually told the kids like, "Hey, we have the art auction that supports our autism outreach program. It's our charity. It's called FAR. It's a charity that has been personally, they've used it personally through a guy that runs our show as a nephew who's autistic, and it's helped him out. So that's our charity. So I told these guys, like, hey, kids, keep your art, or if you want, you can put it in our auction if you want to be part of the show. So they bundled up. I think they just ended up bundling up. We only had a few kids that did that, and they sold it on auction, and this just helps raise money for them. So
that
entire show was just a good experience because we know we're going in the right direction.
Right.
We do.
No, that's.
But then that Stranger Things piece. I don't know if you remember the one with the Stranger Things with the Tesla Hydra.
Oh yeah.
Review of that's some a local fan that's been always supportive. The wife was like greenlit the purchase and came up and was like, I'm gonna make your day, and bought that piece. So just giving out a home, a good home is usually a lot of the stuff is like I've gotten random people from around the world. I even had some stuff go to China recently.
Wow.
You just never know. You never know, but like when you see people in person and local love like that, when they're like, hey, I want this piece, like, and at full price. They're not like, hey, can I? Because that's one of the worst things you can do to artists is start trying to haggle. This is not a swap meet.
Right.
It's priced for what it is, and they paid they appreciate it and they understand the work, and so that made my day. And then another thing is I was fortunately enough. I don't know if you know, Tony Moore helped create a Walking Dead comic when it came out and stuff. He used to draw for the first part. Yeah, he has a show called CincyCon. They killed the show, unfortunately, but I was there. Was it last year or so? And I was able to basically, like, I did a Frankenstein painting all in one day, and that's how I started doing my Mohawk Frankenstein. So the first one I ever did was at that show. Okay. They had the live draw. Well, that show, one of their guys, they just put in their auction, and their own staff pretty much buys most of the art, but the one, their dudes, William Hayters, he picked that up from me, and then I got a lot of love from Tony Moore himself. So those guys follow me and inspire me, so it's just like I know I'm onto something right. Yeah. It's just like it sucks as an artist to have any kind of validation, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to get eyes on your stuff. It doesn't hurt to get that love and appreciation. Right. I don't like to seem like I'm begging for anything, Like anytime I've been in like any kind of need or anything, I'm usually like trying to offer my services of like, hey, I got the sale or I'm doing this, but I'm just never like, give me free money because I'm special or something. It's like, to work for it. Absolutely. So that's where I want to be for sure, is just where I don't have to work for it so hard. Like, I'm going to have to turn people away. That's where we want to be. Right. Definitely. Definitely. Well, cool, man. That's tight to get that recognition from when it's due, All right, and then the next question is the flip side of that. What's like one of the worst or most inconvenient experience that you've had to overcome through this art game? I think with comic shows, especially, is like one thing I've stopped doing. I still have some fan art on my T-shirt shop. But fan art has become a problem. Like I do original pieces for fan art. I think that's better. But when you start mass producing other people's stuff, even if you drew it, it's kind of like at the end of the day, like say you built this empire and you built it on other people's ideas. Right. That's kind of a problem. Right. I do fan art. I love fan art. This Pennywise, but it's like, what am I going to bring to this Pennywise? It's not nobody else has done. Right. So that's what I think about when I'm doing stuff. But like I used to do prints. I had prints. Like usually my prints are like 10 for, or 2 for, or $10 each, or like 3 for 25 or something like that. Oh, everybody's doing those deals. So now when you go to these shows, I don't know if you've been to a comic book convention out there. Have you never even gone to Emerald City, man, up in Seattle?
No,
That's like a really good show that I've never gone to. I guess it's like bonkers, crazy, huge now than what it used to be. That's what the problem with a lot of popular shows is they get really big and hard to get into. But I've never been. But anyway, like a thing they call is like Walmarts. So there's these guys that have this huge wall, and there's usually regulations where you only have supposed to be like this modest, regular backdrop height type situation.
Right, yeah. I've definitely done conventions.
People are building as tall as they could with all these like prints of stuff they don't even own. So that's why I started considering, well, I need to start being a little more protective of what I do instead of just like, because it'd kind of suck to get real big with dreadlock and then like see it'd be flattering, but it would suck to go to a show and see people making money.
Right. Like, no, definitely.
If it's an original, it's like, that's flattering, that's awesome. But if you're just like making a bunch of money, I know some people get flagged. Like if somebody's making six figures, Disney, whoever, I think they'll go after you.
Right.
I just don't want to be that guy down the road. So that's been like, because I've had that problem, like even with our own personal show, we earlier on, we had people do print mills. So like I had a guy, his booth he's a vendor, and he had basically was like selling, sanctioned art that the artist I guess was okay with. Okay. And it's not even there, so it's like all this like traced looking, sleek shit that people are just like, ooh, neat, shiny, and I was getting asked if this was my shit, and my stuff's right here in front of me on my table, and you're asking me about shit that's like does not look like my booth.
Right.
And people are just blocking the view of my customers, and it's just that's just irritating, stuff like that. So that's probably one of the more irritating things. So
cool.
I think, so yeah, it's like if I take this, I know people say they want a print of this Pennywise, but if I was to do that, it'd probably be like very limited. I could do like a shirt maybe for a limited time or something, or even just do it and then like put it for a charity thing or something. Something.
Nice.
But you never know, man. I don't know if you've ever had that problem too. It's another pet peeve is when people ask you, "Hey, can you make a print of this or do this on a shirt?" and then they don't buy it. Like you go through the effort to put it up on a shirt or do something for them, and
right?
Buy one.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's why I've started requesting down payments. I think that's.
Oh, and I was just saying something I've done on my own, not for them. I always get paid up for. I don't do nothing without payment pretty much because I've been down the road too. Where people are like, oh, I don't like it. And I've done stuff verbatim, what people wanted, and then they're like, didn't like it. I haven't had that happen too often, but yeah, there's some, most of all, I've had awesome customers.
For sure.
Sousing Dead design was a surprise gift for awesome customers. And last time they commissioned me was they wanted the family portrait, but them as Dr. Seuss characters. So,
interesting.
Like, that's more, family-friendly goodness, wholesome goodness. So the portrait, I was posting some of the portraits because people were real big into that. So I'm like, hey, that's the closest they get to that clean style, but it still looks like mine. Like people love. I'm a huge comedy fan, so everybody loves that. I don't know why I still have the original, but the Drax Them Slouched from the Key and Peele. Like, I still got a shirt for that.
Nice.
I just love that one, but yeah, I don't know why I still have that original piece. I had some prints, and I stopped doing that. So.
Tight.
I try to do prints, so when you see me, I'll try to have prints of just my dreadlock stuff. That's it.
Right. Yeah, I think...
I do have more comics in the works. Like, as soon as this is tied up, I have other stuff. I wanted to... I don't know if you do Inktober or any kind of thing for October, but I just do, like, 31 Days Halloween Challenge, basically, I call it. And,
tight.
So I don't know what I'll do this year. I wanted to do, like, a preview to another book I want to do, but I just feel like I'm not ready for it yet because it's almost October now. Right. So, I don't know. I might do more American Horror Story just because this new season's actually been really good.
Yeah, that shit's tight.
I haven't watched this episode this week, but Evan Peters has been amazing. So I'm like, man, I'm going to have to do more. Right. Make another set.
I like that.
I had that frame set, man. Frame set was last year. Instead of 31 cards, I did 40 so I could complete the frame, and I'm still sitting on this. So, you never know. It's another thing with artist struggle. It's like, oh, this is gonna move. And then, nope.
I like the 31 Days of Horror thing, man. That's tight. I might have to join you on that.
Yeah. People do the thing where they just go, they just post their favorite movies or trivia or whatever stuff, but then I see the Inktober is huge, like the Jake Parker guy got that going huge, and so there's like a set list where it's like, this day is poison, so draw something that's based on poison or whatever. Like, that's cool, but I just do my own thing. I still have some cards left from past years.
Mm-hmm.
I have like folders of like, every year of all the cards I've done. So some years I've done like straight fan art and stuff, like favorite stuff of mine. And then like 1 or 2 years I did like my own stuff. So there's some actual sketch cards I've made that are actual, on the back burner for something, making a comic out of it. But you never know what magic you could find through randomness.
Tight, dude, tight. All right, nice. That's hella fucking tight, dude. I gotta look more into that stuff. And it did kind of touch on my next question on projects that you're working on or things you have scheduled. Is there any more stuff you'd like to add to that, or is that pretty much what you've got going on right now?
Yeah, I do have a kids book I want to do. Can't really discuss anything on it until I get it out there and it's protected enough for me. But I've got a few books other than Dreadlock I want to do.
Awesome.
I do have a comic I did. We did an underground paper when I started when I was a kid. When we were like junior year of high school. We pissed them off. We pissed the school off too because like the first issue was talking about how a budget cut was going to give the principal a raise. So
no shit.
I've always been kind of I always loved like, I don't know, I just like calling bullshit out like
sure.
That. So
sure.
Which pains me to have the Dreadlock so far behind because I'm like the asshole with that. But it's like it's happening. I haven't gave up because there's a lot of projects that like get funded and then just disappear. I'm not weird. My personal life has been like shit, and we're just trying to get out of here. I can't wait to live out in Indiana, dude. Indiana's like, no offense, people. I like Indiana, but I'm from the West. So
right.
Like to be out back.
For sure.
I've been out to, like, I know my friends want me to go out east, but still, I don't know. Maybe a little bit less humidity would be better. There's a lot of humidity. We're on the coast of the east, like from Georgia and up, but not my thing. I live in Dallas. There's crazy humidity, but for me, yeah, like I just want to get Dreadlock squared away, and I still just do these random commissions. I got still work. I got upcoming some sketch card stuff. I don't do as much, but I still do some of that, just random stuff for deck. So I got some stuff in the works for that.
Cool.
This DC bombshell set I already did is supposed to be coming out anytime soon. So when we do these sets, we get like however many we do, we get like artist proof sketch cards that we officially licensed stamped cards that we get to sell for whatever we want. So I still got 6 of those blank, trying to get rid of those. Like this is random stuff. So it'll be commissions, fan art, and then and balancing all that. Balancing life bills and things, and then trying to get your own creative stuff done. Stay afloat.
Right.
They all float down here,
Right. Cool, man. Yeah, that's good to hear that you got a bunch of projects going on. I think that's another reason why I like doing these shows is because, like, again, for the younger generation that's looking up to, like, these names that inspire them, we're always scheduling something, and that's kind of what helps us grow, it keeps us on a positive path and stuff. So it's always good to hear when people have a lot of stuff going on,
cool. A lot to do always.
Yeah.
We got plenty of stuff to catch up. I got commissions, different people to finish, and my own stuff to finish, and there's just got to stay busy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know about you, but like when you don't get art done and you haven't had a chance to do any art, that's like the worst feeling. You're like, it's like you're neglecting. It's like you're neglecting your a pet or a child.
Right. I mean, that's something.
It's weird, but
that's something that, like, I have lists of stuff that I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? But I schedule everything down to fucking sketching, down to doing nothing but play video games. You know what I'm saying? Every one of my days is scheduled specifically for stuff because I got so much stuff going on. It helps me keep things focused.
Yeah, and then you got this podcast to interrupt your art time.
Yeah. No, it doesn't interrupt though. It fucking.
No, you can sketch while you talk. I know.
Yeah, that's actually how it started too. I was like painting, and my friend called me, and I was like live painting, and we were just bullshitting. And I'm like, there's a fucking idea. I could be painting while talking to artists, So, and I am actually working on cutting something out right now that will be framed later. But yeah, no, I think it's tight. It keeps me it keeps just kind of like the game like intact. You know what I'm saying? My brain is always thinking on like an artist level, you know. And when I'm talking to artists, it helps me, you know. So, and hopefully it helps everybody watching, because that's the goal. Cool.
Yeah, where do you put this all up? When you do your podcast, where do you like stick everything? You have multiple places, or one place you put it?
Well, when I do the live, like we are right now, I'm at what was formerly my JawsAtalk account, but like I said, Facebook made me change it to my fucking government name. But it's still at JawsAtalk, so it's on Facebook Live. When I'm done with it, when we're done with this episode, I upload it to YouTube. So it's
okay, cool.
It's archived.
I'll make sure to share and hit it up. I'm not just for myself though, just because like I know a lot of people like podcast stuff.
Yeah,
I'm bad about podcasts normally. Not to be like, oh, I want to care about the ones I'm in.
Right.
I just usually listen to music
but
more.
See, that's
because
the cool.
There's so many podcasts. Oh my god.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, it's like hard to keep up.
Absolutely, and that's the cool thing about like this. It's like artists that inspire me, you know. So like the and they're good artists, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like when somebody watches one and they're like, oh, okay, I learned more about that artist, and then they'll watch like, you know, Art Gomez, and then you're just like, damn, dude. And then you're just like, all right, well, this dude obviously knows who he's talking to, so they go check out like an MC, and they're like, damn, this dude's dope, you know. So I'm trying to build that sort of like umbrella to check out.
How many episodes are you in now?
This is my 10th one. You were my 10th, my 10th interview, but I have.
Good and bad. That's good and bad because you probably wish you would have been doing it longer.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Started longer. So you like came to it. You're like,
yeah.
Oh, ding ding ding. But at least I don't have to backtrack as much.
Right. My network is larger. People kind of know of me. People who like I'm interviewing like know of me. So I'm not just like a random ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So.
No, I'm just saying to get back on the back catalog because there's a ton.
Oh, yeah.
One of the only podcasts I ever was like, oh, I'm going to keep up on it, and I never did, was the Mike and Tom Eat Snacks.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
You know that one?
Yeah.
It's so dumb. It's like they're just eating food and talking about it. It's funny, but like, I haven't even kept up with that because I just listen to music.
Right,
I'm like stuck on the wave type music and stuff when I, like it's like wave and trap type stuff.
For really. Sure. And I feel like this kind of like style that I'm doing with like talking to other people, you know, I mean, if you're an artist like me, I can listen to this stuff while I'm doing art. But it definitely takes more listening to than just like not listening to. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll miss jewels.
Good for you. It's coherent enough for my tangents, man.
Mm-hmm. Right. But again, I mean, there's going to be artists that are like painting, they're going to come across it, they're going to be like, oh damn, I got to listen to this, you know what I'm saying? Or they see your art and they're like, oh, I want to know what he's about, you know what I'm saying? So that's the goal.
Yeah, one of the things that people ask me too about what I use is like the glow effects and stuff is like I just use air cans. I don't have a compressor system. I don't know if you can get a compressor to hit a brush like you want instead of just airbrushing like. Mm-hmm. You can airbrush that effect too, but I don't have that. Those are an investment in their own.
Right.
It's like a car payment for a good system. System, but I just use air cans. That's one thing I forgot to mention.
Okay. Cool.
I hate using that stuff because it's probably not great for biodegrading.
Right.
It's already made anyway. That's the only thing about when you say, I'm not going to use this, and then like you're going to make a difference when it's still going to be trash.
Right. Yeah.
But it's very nifty tool. People like I know people use. I use it too if I run out or if I just don't want to mess with it as like toothbrushes, old, you know, or any kind of like some people use paper, ink on it to flick. There's all kinds of crazy things people do. Techniques. It's like it's just like, I don't know if I have any Bob Ross magic that people get from me, but like, you know, he was a magical dude.
Yeah.
They even have the Funko Pops of the dude now. It's like, that guy would just be like, well, he can do this and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And he's so...
One of my coworkers...
It's not easy to figure it out, but it's like, he's just like, shh.
Right. Yeah, one of my
That's
coworkers
hard,
mentioned Bob Ross the other day. It's hella tight, man. Definitely hella inspirational. Amazing motherfucker. That's for sure.
Yeah, he had badass hair.
Yeah, shit, dude, my hair's kind of doing that right now. Let's see. Another thing you kind of mentioned, but again, just to reiterate, words of wisdom for the next generation.
Well, I think just always stay true to yourself and don't, like I said, it's not fair to compare, but also, like, you gotta think about the long run. Like, if you emulate, how long do you want to, like, be looking like somebody else's art? Like, you want to always bring something to the table and don't be afraid to just be yourself with your art. So if you think something's not working and you don't like it, but for some reason other people do, you don't necessarily have to keep doing that. You just do what you want. But it's just, art is like, I don't know. There's like this thing of like, oh, you're selling out feeling, but it's at the same time, you got to pay bills and things. But like, it's just, I know a lot of things is like, it's like, I would say stay away from art institutes. If you do go to a school, you're going to want to go to something that's like, you can see that there's proof that they placed people and did anything. But a lot of these art type schools seem to just want your money. And I think that schools in general do that, where they're just like, give me your money and there's no guarantee for you. But hey, you got a great degree, which I don't even have. I wouldn't mind having an art degree just to have the credentials to teach if I wanted to do, even if it was just like a side thing. Because it's fun to, like, it's basically like an art jam session when you're just teaching art when you're hanging out. Because I've had a little bit of that vibe where you just talking about art, and so the kids, even if there's kids or whatever. But I would say that, like, just definitely try to be yourself as much as you can when you're doing stuff. But, you don't want to just be, you don't want to be like a carbon copy, and you don't want to, and also like the whole. And when I say it's not fair to compare, because it's like I love some of the artists I mentioned. And whenever I've personally been like, okay, I'm just trying to do something like they do, it just starts frustrating me because it's just not natural. You're trying to push something, you're trying to push something that's not yourself. You're trying to figure it out how you want to do it. And I know people trace when they start. Like, I guess Liefeld was his thing, was he learned how to draw by tracing. But I love some of his stuff. He's like made fun of a lot in the comics with his bad proportions in the past. But at least he's Liefeld. Like, it's like, oh, that's his art, instead of like, oh, it looked like this or that. And he can draw though. He can draw. People, but it's just that's the thing. Like, it's like, you don't like him or you do, but at least it's his art. That's the thing. So that's kind of what you want. You want your own signature when you do art. There's a lot of the people that, like, you think, you can even compare, like, the kids these days don't know, like, say, PewDiePie. So here's this kid, he wants to be a YouTuber. Well, if you just start copying PewDiePie, you're just gonna look like a wannabe. And you don't want that. You just want to always be something unique, bring something different voice to whatever you're doing. So that's the best advice, I guess I could say. And you definitely got to put practice in. And if your hands aren't cramping up and hurting because you're drawing so much, then you're not doing it right.
Facts.
You got to be putting the work in.
Definitely.
I remember as a kid, like, one summer, I was like, I'm going to do a comic. And so I did a 100-page comic book in a time. Just on my own, like, just trying to do my own thing. And I probably have it stored somewhere. But, like, I remember you draw so much that you're just like, you just have to drop the pencil.
Oh, yeah.
Like your hand's possessed from a Ouija board or something.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm done. I can't anymore. That's what you got to do. You got to be, like, drawing where you can take it. Consistency.
I definitely normally, like, my original mind state is agrees with the institution idea, but when I interviewed Art Gomez, that dude is just 100% like classically trained, you know. What the hell just happened here? But definitely gave me an entire different light on the whole schooling aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, you just gotta research your school. Like,
right.
don't, like, I've known people that did Art Institute and then they were just working retail. You know, you're like,
right.
They've graduated and everything. It's like,
right.
you need to go. There's better schools out there. I just don't know. I couldn't say per se who.
Right.
I know here in town they got the Heron Art School, and I hear great things.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I would love to. I would have. I grew up with the whole, like, no offense to my pops, but I grew up with the whole, when you're 18, you pay rent or get the hell out.
Right,
kind of
right,
attitude,
right. Mm-hmm.
Instead of, like, investing. And so I would definitely say to parents, if they ever listen to this, invest in your kid.
Right.
He could be your retirement.
Definitely.
He could be your retirement. Art is not a joke. You
Definitely.
can make money. So, and it's just kind of like, my whole thing with me is personally is like doing the groundwork now, when I should have been doing it from the beginning of
right.
for day one, getting out of high school.
Right.
I just became like, we actually moved out of the country and we were in Guadalajara for a bit, so that kind of detoured things a little bit weird. Yeah, but my dad had worked for MCI and stuff, but it's like, you definitely want to be just like, I don't know, you just want to, I don't know about schools, like say, but I just know there's like good ones and bad ones, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with it, because they push you. Like, I had to start all over in my senior year. We moved from a small town to Tucson, so I had to start all over in my senior year of high school. It sucked, but it was a block school, so I was able to take 2 art classes.
Okay.
And even though we do stuff that, like, talking about Mondrian and old artists that I'm like, ugh, this is boring. I still could bring my own. I could still bring my own, like, thing to that. So I know college would definitely, you'd be able to, like, hey, we're gonna do this today and that today. You might never have touched that stuff. And maybe you won't like it. Like, you know, I know people that work in chalk, people that work in pastel, people that work in oil. Mm-hmm. You get stuck. Like, I mix it up a little bit, mm-hmm. but I definitely. Room to always do something more, especially if I ever get out there and we're hanging out, then hey, give me a wall and let me see what I can do. Like, I'm definitely down to do something different. You know?
Right. Yeah, dude. I've expanded my, you know, mediums leaps and bounds. Like, I started vandalizing, you know, illegal graffiti, moved to oil paints on canvas. Was doing that till just recently, really, when I got myself some acrylics. I got myself watercolors, and I'm working with marker a lot. So, you know, I've definitely expanded because there's so many different things to do. You know, do you do
that thing where you hit a piece somewhere and you go later on drive by and film it and stuff? Because I got quite a few graffiti people on my list, and I know one dude that will, like, he'll tag and then he'll just, like, all of a sudden you'll see him driving past it like, look what I did. And it's just like, you got some balls, man. Like, I mean, that's cool, but it's like, I don't want him to get incarcerated.
Right. No, I used to do that. But yeah, I haven't done illegal graffiti in a very long time. I still put up stickers, but I haven't, like, bombed illegal spots. And I still look at places.
Are you? I don't know you have your crew name, and I don't know who's all in it. I feel like when I'm out of the loop, and I don't, maybe now I'll learn more. That's all you got to learn. That's why these talks are good to expand and stuff. But, like, are you connected in any way with Scam Sticker?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was just curious because he's like an early adopter as follower on my on Instagram, so I've just seen that, and then I heard he was, like, in Portland, so I was just kind of, like, curious since you were talking about Oregon.
Yeah, no, I don't know that guy. And the stickers are kind of like a new fad, you know, which is cool. You know, it's evolved.
Oh, it's just real anti-political, anti-everything, because it's funny. It has its funny moments.
Sure.
You know, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I can't say, I'm not going to get political, but, like, this climate now, it's like I can't say I'm like, I love the Clintons or anything, but I'm just definitely not a Trump fan because this reminds me, like, there's a lot of, and this goes on with the way the world is at this time where it's just, I've never ever been into that bully type mindset. hate that shit.
For sure.
So anybody that's like a bully type, that's like, and it goes with art too. Mm-hmm. So I don't know about, you know, when people might not give a shit about who you are, but then they find out you draw, and they're like, draw me something. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that.
Right.
Like, you didn't give a shit until they find out, you know. So people just need to be human. That's all good.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was one of my next questions, actually, was anything... yeah, you're good at this. You're good at this. Was things you want to raise awareness to or rant about. So it could be politics. I definitely want to... I want you to inform everybody about the kid.
Yeah,
the kid that
I'm just not into the like, that's the problem with the internet now, is the misinformation. People, it's already been proven about all that kind of crap. So it's kind of like the same thing as like when you get advice from somebody online. You don't have to actually take it. You might be able to take it and twist it around and see where they're coming from, if they're giving you bad advice on purpose or what. But usually good advice, you're going to know it's good if I think it ultimately is just like staying positive no matter what. So like stuff right now is like shitty. Like there's a lot of nothing good on the news feeds and people talking about, you know, just kind of like, I would say like stuff that's not in your control. Like you can be a voice and speak out. That's definitely a good thing. But like, the stuff that's out of your control is like not good to stress out about it.
Right.
Try to like live. You gotta live day by day, and that's why like when the day goes by that I haven't been able to paint or draw or do something productive, I feel like shitty. Oh man, I wasted.
Right.
You just never know.
Right.
So
that's why you got to schedule your free days. You got to schedule free days so that you don't feel that way. That's what I've realized.
Oh yeah, I have every day free. It's just I have to balance that with like, do I get a day job shit or whatever I gotta do?
Right.
I did the whole 9 to 5 kind of thing, and I have nothing to show for that. So it's like it's been a weird time for me right now. It's like getting the word out on my art without being a spamatron. There's a lot of botting too.
Oh,
I hate that botting
so
shit.
fucking.
Where people just they get a fucking hashtag and go your thing, and then it's like nice pic or something stupid.
I hate that shit,
with what
dude.
You're posting.
That shit gets under my fucking skin, dude.
Yeah, because if you bought it, and then you have these instant responses, even on Twitter, people do it, and it's like, say it's like somebody you know, and then you're like, oh yeah, let's add each other's Twitter, but then their Twitter automatically goes, hey, welcome to my page, and blah, 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 and you're like, I already know your shit. Like, what? It's just like weird. It's just like robotic. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I might have had an away message on my Facebook MayonnaiseandBread page, but I don't think it's anything too where people would be like, oh, this is a robot. Like,
right. No, it's chill. Comment. Yeah, I know. I got that instant message, but I was like, oh yeah, that's tight. I was like, damn, I should do that. Really, you know.
Yeah, but it's not so bad on a message, but like when it's on a comment, you're just like, because you post like, say, just randomly use hashtag for golf or something, and then all these like golf accounts start following you without even like interacting or anything, and then you'll see later they unfollow you. It's just weird, man. Yeah, the internet is just a weird.
So ridiculous nowadays, man. I liked it when there was
my kid's a little computer geek, man. I was always a gamer growing up. I had the Sega system growing up, and I didn't have a Nintendo. I had Sega, so I had the regular to the Master System to the Genesis and stuff. And now he's got this beast computer, and he's just this gamer kid. So like that's his. I don't know if he'll end up being this YouTuber or what he's gonna do, but try to get him. He draws too, so we've done that thing where we're like wife surprise for my wife or something, like a Mother's Day, where they'll draw something and then I'll finish it with color.
Hell yeah, dude.
Put my spin on it. So yeah, it's just there's kids these days though, like internet, man. It's like the new TV.
Oh man,
he's a huge good Mythical Morning fan, which I love those guys.
Okay, cool.
They deserve what they got for sure.
Yeah,
they're always funny.
Yeah, they're entertaining.
I don't have to worry about them.
Right.
I know people gotta like check their kids' internet and do this, but I'm not have to worry about it with him as much. Like,
for sure.
He's pretty street smart.
Nice.
He's a straight A kid too, so
damn.
Hopefully that stays the same.
Cool.
Get some like teenage rebellion. Screw you, Dad.
Fuck you. That's funny. No, that's tight. That's good to hear, man. Let's see. I only got a few more questions, and the internet's looking good. Other than being an artist, what are other things that you're into?
Mostly, I like gaming for sure, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still game. I don't play as much because of the art thing, but
Mm-hmm.
when the bus stop time, like, waking myself up, I'll play, like, some Battlefield.
Okay.
I've been a Battlefield head since, like, the PC days, but I've been kind of let down with, 4 was kind of annoying, and then,
Mm-hmm.
I was about to quit, and then this new one went back to, like, World War I shit, but
Mm-hmm.
you can ride on horseback and shit. So
Okay.
that's fun. I play that.
Yeah.
I play, it could be anywhere from that to like Tetris or Mario stuff too. We don't have a Switch or anything, but it's a gamer house. My wife likes stuff like video games too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. Cool.
you gotta like, I do know is like, people like significant others. You definitely want to partner up with somebody that has similar interests, because
Right.
you'll be fighting that one for.
Right.
You'll be fighting that one. If you got an anti-gamer
Right.
partner, yeah, it's not gonna be fun for you.
Right.
if you're a gamer.
I heard a comedian, I think it was Bill Burr, or someone say like, he's like, you should like something like, don't have similar interests, have similar dislikes or some shit, so you guys can hate. He's like, the people who hate together love together, some shit like that. It was a hella funny point that he made though.
Yeah, for sure. So, I think I like movies and
Mm-hmm.
you know, from comics to sci-fi. I don't really buy a lot of comics, but
Mm-hmm.
that's just because that shit's expensive.
For sure.
But I like get inspiration from everything. So kind of like, I don't know. I think a lot of everything kind of goes back to art, whatever it is. Just like I want to see the new. You want to see a new It movie, but I haven't seen it. But I'm like, okay, well, I'll just draw something. So I just started drawing Pennywise because it's fun to draw.
Right.
And it's like, that's my hashtag at one post where I didn't do nothing but post bandwagon, because that's what people were going to think. Because
Mm-hmm.
even though I did a Pennywise sketch, like quick sketch, like over a month before the movie and came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm curious to see, like, I don't know if you ever seen Mama, but the same guy that did Mama did this It movie, and I think Mama was pretty good. It was creepy.
Well, yeah, I like
don't know
the
if you
It
don't
movie,
think
man. I think Pennywise was portrayed very well played. Good story.
Yeah, they do.
It was complete. The story was complete too. It wasn't.
Yeah, the dude in Hemlock Grove. I never finished that Hemlock Grove, but he's like one of the main guys on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Okay. Yeah, I haven't
too much
seen
stuff
that.
to watch, though.
I haven't seen
I
that.
think music is another big thing. That's why I don't watch a lot of crap. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I end up just listening to music more, because I use SoundCloud. SoundCloud is my big music service, because you can get a lot of mixes on there.
Yeah.
Like a lot of 2-hour mixes.
Right.
They're just straight music
Mm-hmm.
from. Like another thing, recently I got DEE. I don't know if you ever heard DEE, UK rapper. He followed me back recently.
Oh, nice.
I did that sketch of him, but
It's
just like, you never know how you can reach or who you can reach across the world.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
he messaged me about it. It's super cool. Versy Jones, definitely gonna make a shout out on your thing, but anybody want to check out his VRSYJENES.
Mm-hmm.
Versy Jones, this dude does his own show, and he inspires me. So it kind of, everything I'm touched on that's not art usually goes back to art anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing art while I'm enjoying that, so it's crazy. I don't know. It's the same with, it goes from art and skating. I used to, as they would call it, fruit booting. I used to inline skate. I used to work at a skate park, so I always liked inline skating. I don't care what people skateboarders are better and the purest or whatever. I don't care.
Well, you're talking to a skateboarder right now, so the interview's
No, I know. I'm
over.
just saying, there was the people that would be like, that are skateboarding, like they would hate on it. And
yeah.
I killed myself on my skates plenty of times. I dislocated my arm and all kinds of fun, but I had fun doing it. But like, even that, like I'm saying, like if you're driving somewhere, listening to music, and you even with a skateboarder, you'll have it happen too. You're looking at everything passing you by.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, that's a good skate spot.
Yep.
Hey, that's a good skate spot. Or hey, that's a good tag spot. There's like all these different things. Like, so always thinking about art in any way. So if I'm watching a movie or anything and you're enjoying some kind of entertainment, it always goes back to art too, where you're like, hey, I could draw that. Or it's crazy. I don't think I'd ever turn that off, or I can. I don't know. Life would be boring without art, though. That's for sure.
No, it's ingrained into our brains, bro. Can't turn that off.
Yeah, especially like I was saying with the skate thing, when you're driving and you're like, I'd just rather be skating along this sidewalk right here and you see stuff.
Try to take mental notes of spots and all that.
Yeah, I haven't skated in a while. I still got my oxygens. Been wanting to, like, when it cools off more here, I wanting to get out and skate again. It's just like, gotta be. I'm an older man, and I fuck myself.
Cool. Good, man. Good to hear that. I think that's another important thing to share with people looking into your art. It's just other hobbies that you're into, you know? Because we're real people, too. You know, I mean, some people
I'm kind of boring right now because, like, your money makes the world go around. So when you have more money, you can do more cool shit. So I could be a little more exciting. Like, hey, I like to go travel, but I haven't traveled much in a while. Chicago is not really like 3 hours from here. It's not bad, but like they're actually the big thing about going to Chicago is food. So I like to eat. I like food. I'm a foodie enough, but like they're bringing everything from Chicago, like the big chains. They're coming here to Indy now, so it's like. You don't really have a reason to go unless you just want the aesthetic of Chicago.
Right.
So it's crazy.
Right. Word. All right. Let's see. Oh, I wanted you to tell me the re-say the. You do two things. You did mention two things. You like give back to like an autism awareness.
Yeah, our show does that. It's like an outreach program to support families.
Is there like kids. Is there like a website that you'd like me to add in the description or anything?
They have Instagram. I could tag you on about that. As far as my personal thing with the whole like indigenous program, that's like something out in the future.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Well, what I'll do with that. That's something. It's just something I definitely would like to get out and.
Cool. Well, definitely. Definitely.
But there's so much, man. There's so much. You got to get it done before we get put in the ground, you know.
Right. Definitely tag me in that, and then I'll put it in the YouTube description just so more people can follow that. And then who's that kid? The kid that said he's in stage 4 cancer, and you're trying to send like art and stuff his way.
It's Angel Mendoza. I can tag you their page on. They have an Instagram. Because they have their GoFundMe too and everything. So
yeah, I'll put definitely support and add that to the description as well. So definitely tag me in.
Yeah, I reached out to Sean Astin, does the voice. I haven't heard back from him about that, but I was kind of hoping maybe he could get with Disney or something to help this kid out because they're like I think it's in Mesa, Arizona is where they're based, but I just know it's like just the connections. Honestly, I met you through Instagram, but I know about the kid through Instagram. It's just despite the Facebook touch, man, it's been a pretty awesome place.
Right.
Just meeting cool people. This kid's cool. Like he likes to paint, so that's another thing that resonates. You see the kid
I think
painting and smiling.
I think that'd be cool to stoke that kid out and fill his room or whatever with a bunch of different artists' art. You know, I think that's powerful.
Yeah, but I'm sure. Yeah, I hope he burned through his art supplies he got already, man. He probably did. He paints a lot.
Tight. Good. All right, man. And final thing is how can people reach you? How can people follow your progression and all that?
A lot of times it's just go by mayonnaise and bread, all spelled out one word on most of my stuff. So like MayonnaiseandBread on Instagram, Facebook. I think it's under Mayo and Bread on Twitter. I'm on Pinterest. I don't use DeviantArt. I have one. So I know people ask me about that, but not as much. I don't hear a lot of DeviantArt stuff, requests or anything. I don't mess with it, but my biggest place is always Instagram first. Because you got, the story mode. You got all these different connections and stuff. So that's still good place to go.
Sweet. All right.
That's about it. I don't have an actual URL anymore. I need to do that again eventually, but I might make it a little more abbreviated, easier to get to when I do that. Instead of, I used to have MayonnaiseandBread.com, so people always ask me how you spell mayonnaise.
Right.
I think a lot of people's mayonnaise growing up was Miracle Whip instead of mayonnaise.
The gutter, bro. That's how you make some good potato salad.
I don't even like mayonnaise, though. That's the funniest thing. I don't like it. If I have a sandwich, mustard's good to go, but mayonnaise, yeah.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good. All right, man. Sweet. That's all the questions I got, man. You definitely hooked it up with a great interview.
It's almost 2 hours, man. That's awesome.
It's pretty solid, man. I'm definitely stoked to add this to the JawsAtalk show collection in the archive.
Well, hey, I've wanted to do like a creator sit down, even if it's a video type or whatever. Sometimes, so it's inspiring. I'm like, yeah, man, I need to get to where I have the time to have more like that and get you back on my show. If I get that going.
Oh, man, I'd love it.
Cyclical audio sauce, art sauce, video sauce, all the sauce.
Definitely. I'm always down, man. I'm definitely trying to connect the culture, build the network, and spread whatever education and knowledge that I have or have gained. So,
hey, I'm honored to be cool with any kind of like graffiti community art.
That's
insane. I know
for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of people you don't even like know people do that stuff, and it's just like this. It's not as underground as it was, but man, it's like you find. I've met people with the last job that they tag, and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't even know. Like, it's crazy.
Right.
It's so incognito with that. Like a lot of times,
Yeah, it gotta be sometimes. Some people some of the artists that I've mentioned that I've hit up, they're like, do I need to wear a bandana? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, bro, this is audio. You don't gotta say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I've had two. I know my homie Nail and my homie Honor. When I hit them up, they were like, all right, I have a bandana, so if this is gonna be on video, I'm like, nah, bro. So, but yeah, the life is real, bro. The life is rockin' real. Right on, man. I hella appreciate this, and we'll keep in touch. I'll probably hit you up in the future and try to get one of the copies of your comic. I think that'd be tight to have one of those. So we'll keep in touch, man.
Get the address from you and stuff, and then get the tag your links and stuff for you.
Yeah. Sweet. Sounds like a deal. I'm gonna let you go, man.
All right, man.
Thanks again.